Hello, thank you for joining us today. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. It's Mr. Rogers we're here doing the show, but he's not. Claibourne Holtzman is your guest to speak with you, to come in your home. I say your guest because I am where you are and I'm in your space. So thank you for letting me have that privilege and pleasure to be able to do that. Today is Monday, March the 21st. We're doing this live. And what we're doing is reaching out and sharing some information with you that I think you'll be happy to know. Knowledge is power. And by that I mean, if you have the knowledge you need to be able to understand what is available for you to help the body be able to do what it needs to do, heal itself, deal with all the stuff that we have to deal with. And basically, one of the most trying times we've had is with our mental integrity. You go back and you look, we had the pandemic, and folks, that people just, for 2 years, basically stayed locked up in their home. And away from people, that type of thing. So, and now, what is the next thing that's keeping you from going and being part of socialization? And that is gas prices. And if you look at the trend and you wonder who thought of this stuff and why in the world is it going on, that in our life and health and doing it, we're kind of being turned inward, and when I reach out to other people, then we had the mask on. Now, in the conversation, it's going to come up, I can't afford to, I need a raise, my gas prices are causing me to have this detrimental thing, I have trouble being able to go to the doctor, I have trouble being able to know what's important to me because I am dwelling on things that are not what we're supposed to be thinking about. Where'd that come from? I knew I was watching some English videos, but didn't know it affected you that fast. But if you know that there is something good for you, something that'll help you, something that's good for your well-being, like N-acetylcysteine, and what it has to do for you. I've come up with some things today that I want to share with you. And one of these, because I feel so strongly about we've got to socialize, we've got to be part of other people's lives and be able to give support for one another, and everybody doesn't feel like they are all alone in this stuff that's going on. But there is a product that is fantastic for helping the brain protecting itself. And we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about melatonin. And it's been shown, and melatonin has been shown to do other things. It's not just for the brain. I mean, we look at melatonin in the natural health realm, and it is exciting because melatonin has been used and has shown to help fight. You ready for this? You want to take notes? That's fine. I'm talking about melatonin, but it's shown to help fight cancer, build the immune system or the function, and enable better sleep in some people. If we could get a decent night's sleep, there's so many things trying to rob us of it. First of all, we've got to learn to shut off the computer up here so we can go ahead and get that brain, that tissue that's up here, about 3 pounds of it, that is running the whole show. So, and then when you're up in the brain up there, you want to also think about the pineal hormone is secreted abundantly in youth, but declines in normal aging. So does melatonin help with that? if something is decreasing, what can we do to increase it? That's what's happening. Research shows that melatonin improves several aspects of memory and increases formation of, listen to this, it helps to formulate and helps with the formation of new brain cells. Whoa. We thought that as we got older, that we were going to keep losing things and they were going to keep disappearing. But if research is what it says, and we're finding out we have the opportunity to be able to get a hormone that's secreted for the pineal gland, and the melatonin improves several aspects of memory and increases the formation of, and I'm going to say it again, new brain cells. That is phenomenal. I think that is extraordinary that you and I know, and we don't have to keep saying, as my mother's favorite comment when she couldn't remember anything was this. Eva's saying when she couldn't think of it, my computer just went down, and as soon as it comes back up, I'll give you the answer. When she couldn't think of something, it was the computer went down. And so patients with Alzheimer's improves several aspects of memory and increases formation of new brain cells. Patients with Alzheimer's have lower melatonin levels than healthy individuals of the same age. Increase in melatonin levels may help protect against worsening of. If you can protect against your Alzheimer's and your Parkinson's getting worse by taking advantage of scientific studies that say increased melatonin levels may help. So everybody's different, so to speak. But the thing I am learning, I am in the process, and I have been doing for quite some time now, going back to the basics. I'm just going to divert away from my page here for a moment. I looked up today, I went and got out my concordance. That's the Bible concordance. And I went and looked up water and how many times it was used in the Bible. And I looked up waters, plural, and how many times it looked up. If you put the two of them together in the Bible, it's approximately, give or take, 800 times the word water is used in the Bible. Why did I mention that? Because there's a book talking about how our bodies are starved for water. Also, I checked into and been watching and reading about, excuse me, how people are using water fast to be able to give the body the ability to fight off negative aspects in the body. And some of the names that we're talking about were talking about some diseases that it was relatively, that water fasting did it. Well, the water fasting we're talking about is under a medical supervision, and they're watching the people for a certain number of days as they use it as a cleansing, detoxifying, purification system. Well, we go back and we think about, in the Bible, we talk about the living waters, how we're talking about Jesus being the water? Talking about water. So something very basic. But what's happened is, and just to kind of show and tell, I have here a drink. Okay, this one has to be naturally flavored. It has lemonade in it, has raspberries in it. It's a refreshing blend of lemonade and natural raspberry flavor. That's been added to the water. So we're looking to get maybe something good from it. So when I take and I do it, and it does not have any carbonation. The sugar content, total sugar is 56 milligrams. The total sodium is 20 milligrams. No fat, cholesterol none, no fiber, but it's got those items known as sugars and sodium added to my water. So I will end up purchasing it, or if you'll notice, most times when I'm sitting here, I have a bottle of water. I use it to help put the water that the brain needs there. So I broke away from this just to say we need to know there are things good for us. And what is happening to us, and one of the things I believe that is a negative effect, is that when we put things into our body that is acidic. And think about it for a moment. What is the benefit? What is the need our body wants and desires doing for us as we drink beverages that are full of sugar, or they have a diet substance in them to replace the sugar that has a negative effect, and poor peer reviews on it. So what's going on? What we have done, we have let the economy, we have let people who have a treatment for our water sell it to us, and it does not benefit us as much as pure water would by itself. And so melatonin, back to it now, can be part of a nightly regimen to help protect the brain aging. So that's something we want to realize, that the aging of the brain, okay? Everything in this body of mine is aging, as I am fortunate enough to have birthdays. I have started on my next 30 years that I plan to be here. I am working on that as a goal, a function. Therefore, I'm going back now and I'm studying more. I am looking, okay? Just say, for example, if I know that vitamin K does something for me, I know vitamin D does something for me. But am I aware of how important they are in relationship to where we are on this day, March the 21st, 2022? As to what our challenges are when we look at heart disease, we look at lung, we look at all the people that have died from the pandemic, And because of, could something have benefit them that was in the natural realm, that was designed by God to be able to be a purification, to help the brain work better, to help us be able to know that what the item we're putting in our body physically going to help. How's it going to do it? What's it going to do for the brain? Okay. Melatonin is a hormone produced in the pineal gland, which is located in the brain. The hormone is derived from the amino acid tryptophan. And you can purchase L-tryptophan by itself, or you can do it in a combination with other things that are going to help benefit us. Often called the sleep hormone, melatonin is central to regulating the body's sleep-wake cycle. It has long been used to treat various sleep disorders, including jet lag and insomnia, and to improve overall quality of sleep. But I want you to understand something. That is one benefit of melatonin. People say, well, I don't have a problem with sleep. But we need to chill. We need to relax. We need to be able to deal with things on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes it's an hour by hour and a minute by minute basis. Okay. Let me go back now and say, let's give you a little history, okay? Melatonin was first discovered in 1958. But it wasn't until 1993 that researchers found that it was also a powerful antioxidant that quenches free radicals. Whoa. How about having a free radical scavenger? Powerful antioxidant? In addition, melatonin inhibits the growth of certain cancers and enhances the immune system. This has led some researchers to conclude that melatonin may be a useful adjunct intervention against viral infections, including the flu. Now, what have we just gone through? We've gone through, get your flu shot. But suppose there was something that could be over and above, and that it could be beneficial to us, that my immunoglobulins and my immune system has the ability to take the melatonin, and if I need it for sleep, it will send me to sleep. If I need it for me to be able to work against an abnormal cell, referred to in the medical establishment as cancers, and myself as an individual who believes prevention is the answer to us to do first. Don't wait till we have the flat tire before we look at how much treads on it that we need to take care of. And if we can enhance our immune system, the ability to fight, to put the wall up against the flu bug, to put the wall up against all these things. Viral infections, including the flu. Melatonin reduces cell death and has shown neuroprotective effects. This has implication for circumventing memory loss and neurodegenerative disorders. Hey, I'm looking for something that's going to help me up here. Instead of when I start a conversation, all of a sudden, where was I going with it? Start a conversation and my mama said again, my computer went down. What are we going to do next? So what about memory? What about the ability to recall? So melatonin have anything to do with memory? Let's talk about it for a little bit. Isn't this great stuff? I love it. The more I learn, folks, the more I don't know. I feel like now I'm on a quest. Going back and reading stuff, looking at stuff. And did it all just because I need melatonin? I don't have my recall? What do we got to say about that? What about melatonin and memory? As we age, hey, praise the Lord for aging, the consequences. But we need, if we're going to have these birthdays and we're going to get older, we need to know that there is something that is over and beyond helping us to deal with things like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. What do I have to do with my recall? What do they have to do with my deficiency of melatonin? I think it's worth looking into. Okay? As we age, our ability to store and recall memories often fades. Somebody tell me they didn't fade, they just walked out the door. But this decline in memory begins during middle age and gradually worsens. What's middle age? 35, somewhere in that neighborhood. About 40% of the elderly population experiences age-related memory issues. 40%. That's almost half of us seniors. Studies in animals and humans both show that melatonin improves memory. All right. Yes, we close at 5 at Remedy This Naturally. You got a choice of listening to the whole thing or taking and busting the doors down and going to get some, or finish and listen to what I got to say and go in the morning. Okay? 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday. Remedy This Naturally. 10 to 5, Monday through Friday, and 10 to 2 for the post office. Get your stamps, folks. Send somebody a letter and shock them. You know, I like texting, but I prefer talking when it comes to being on the phone. Really do. Okay, so these animal and humans studies show melatonin improves memory. In one study, healthy men receiving a one-time 3 megagrams dose of melatonin were able shortly thereafter to recall more objects from a list than were used to memorize when participation who were given a placebo. So just on 3 milligrams of melatonin, people were able to increase their memory. There are several ways in which melatonin works to improve memory. So here's the other thing. I'm trying to give you educated on this. And my palate likes something that's flavored better than it does water itself. I like just taking a slice of lemon, putting it in my water, and drinking it. Now, look up the benefits of lemon and what it can do for us. Okay? So, homework. All right. What are ways melatonin works to improve memory? Melatonin reduces oxidative damage, which has been shown to lead to memory deficits in animal and humans. So, number 2, in cultured neurons, it shows neutral plasticity, the ability of the brain to change and adapt to experience. It's good to be able to do that. Number 3, melatonin may protect against chronic mild stress. The hormones that produce during stress, the epinephrine, norepinephrine, and cortisol, negatively affect the retrieval of memories. Okay, is this helping? I think so. Number 4, it may increase levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And they refer to that as BDNF. Is a protein found in the central nervous system, particularly the hippocampus, and that is the memory brain center, the brain's memory center, the hippocampus, that increases neuron formation. The levels tend to lower in patients with neurological disease. And the other one right here, melatonin improves sleep, which is important for a healthy brain function and memory retrieval. So, it's important. Just talking about that. All right. In addition, got more to add to this. I'm not done. Melatonin diminishes the negative effects that certain drugs and toxins have on our memory. Is there something we're putting into our body? Is there a drug or a toxin that is causing me negative stuff? And I can take the melatonin and I can have a better benefit. Let's just give you an example. Okay, let's do an example. One side effect of the cancer chemotherapy drug fluorouracil is that it impairs memory by reducing cell growth in the hippocampus. So, in a study in rats, melatonin given before, during, or after administration of fluorouracil decreases the effect of the drug on memory loss by enhancing cell division of the hippocampus. Similar findings have been reported when melatonin was used with other memory impairing substances, including methamphetamine, the household insecticide Proxur, is Proxur, and I'm going to spell this, Scopolamine, a drug to reduce and prevent nausea. So, melatonin was used with these drugs, and it gave a positive benefit. What you need to know. Okay, we're getting to the nitty-gritty on this melatonin. I tell you, I love it. Melatonin is a hormone that has long been used to improve sleep. What you need to know of neuroprotective benefits. It's an antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory. And these activities contribute to numerous other benefits, including in the brain. Folks, if this 3 pound up here under the skull that lives in darkness goes, we go. And by that I mean we can go before the heart quits ticking if we don't have our brain functioning properly. Human studies show that melatonin improves memory in healthy adults. It also shows promise as an adjunct intervention against neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Yep. How about we do this? Let's talk for a few minutes, since I brought it up, about Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease. What is the benefit of melatonin? What is the effect of melatonin on Parkinson's and Alzheimer's? And I'm going to spend a few moments and we're going to talk about it. Okay? Effects of Alzheimer's disease, melatonin effect. Okay. Listen to these statistics, please. Approximately 44 million people in the world have Alzheimer's disease. That figure is expected to reach close to 135 million by 2050. Patients with Alzheimer's have lower melatonin levels than healthy individuals at the same age. This has led some researchers to conclude that melatonin deficiency could play a role in the development of Alzheimer's disease, and that melatonin may be an ideal therapeutic agent. Why? Because melatonin has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties that protect the brain against increased oxidative damage. And about 45% of Alzheimer's patients have difficulties with sleep. And when does the body heal itself? When it sleeps. When does the body rebuild, rejuvenate, regenerate? When it sleeps. About 45% of Alzheimer's patients have difficulty with sleep. And a lack of sleep has been associated with an increased accumulation of beta amyloid. Human studies suggest that melatonin intake not only improves sleep qualities in those with Alzheimer's, but also slows the progression of cognitive problems. Thank God. Can we slow it down? If melatonin has helped some, is there any reason we may not suggest and look into it, do your own research, and check on melatonin and the benefits it may have, and that it will slow down the cognitive problems that we have? Do we not deserve to do it for ourselves and give it that ability to work? Research also indicates that melatonin can improve brain plasticity and promote neuron formation in the hippocampus, which may help slow the degeneration caused by Alzheimer's. I just thought it was worth looking into. I thought it was worth bringing up. I thought you were worth knowing that maybe you don't know this information and that it would be good for you to know it. Okay, let's look at the other thing we talked about. We talked about Alzheimer's, and we also talked about Parkinson's disease. Let's give it its time, okay? Let's give it its time on the air. Parkinson's disease is a neurodegenerative disorder characterized by speech difficulties, tremors, decrease in dexterity, cognitive problems, and sleep disorders. Those are the things that people with Parkinson have challenges with. According to the United Nations, the number of people with Parkinson's is expected to reach, you ready for this? 2 billion. That's a B. The United Nations, according to them, the number of people with Parkinson's is expected to reach 2 billion worldwide in 2050. And we're already in 2022. The disease results from a defect in the production of dopamine, a neurological transmitter produced in the brain that plays important roles in movement, learning, memory, and mood. Okay, dopamine is a neurotransmitter produced in the brain that plays important roles in movement, learning, memory, and mood. 4 items separately. Studies have shown that melatonin prevents a reduction in dopamine. It also prevents the loss of neurons that produce dopamine. Melatonin provides additional protective effects in Parkinson due to its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant activity. When melatonin is given to patients with Parkinson's disease, it leads to reduction in neural death. Let me say that again. When melatonin is given to patients with Parkinson's disease, it leads to a reduction in neural death, oxidative stress, and inflammation. Melatonin also improves cognitive performance and sleep disorder in Parkinson's patients. Researchers are increasingly focused on melatonin as a safe, effective tool to help protect the brain and possibly improve clinical outcomes in Alzheimer's and Parkinson patients. Wasn't that fantastic stuff? I believe getting that information out to you is critical. One of the things that we need to offer to give people the opportunity to experience, make it available that every individual has the ability to choose whether they want to accept it or not. And what am I speaking of? I'm speaking of a 4-letter word that's beautiful, and it's called hope. My program today has been one of hope for those of you that may be or know someone of an Alzheimer's or Parkinson's person suffering from those. I think this program has been one of, we need to look more into what the benefits are of helping the body to heal, helping the body to reach out and give you the ability. When you're walking through Remedy This naturally and you're going up and down the aisles, you're asking questions, you're looking at the literature, you want to know what benefit this place has for me. And all of a sudden, the light bulb comes on and we realize that, hey, Claibourne said melatonin research could benefit. Check it out. Look at it. Make your doctor aware that it's there. Have them look it up. Have them check into it. And have them prescribe it. You don't need a prescription for it, but most people would prefer, as my mother believed, the doctor could walk on water and do no wrong. So I challenge you to do that. So let's do a summary of what we've talked about so far, and I've got a couple other things I want to make sure we get on the program today. Okay? Melatonin is well known for improving sleep in some people, and that's basically where most people ability to understand about melatonin stops. They look at it as a sleep aid, but it's more than that. Numerous studies show that it can also improve memory and may be a potential adjunct intervention to neurological disorders, including Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. It can be part of a nightly regimen to help protect the aging brain. Typical melatonin doses range from 300 mcg to over 10,000 mcg, which is 10 milligrams. It can be purchased over the counter in a capsule, sublingual tablets, or liquid. Melatonin is also available in immediate and extended release forms. And it's a good way for us to understand we have the ability to protect our brain. With that in mind, for the next 13 minutes, I want to share something with you. I've got a book I pulled back out, the herb book. And what I wanted to do, because of the N-acetylcysteine and what it does, what the vitamin D does and what the vitamin K does, and what we can do in reference to making sure that the potential of radiation, we have something to protect our bodies with. You're welcome to go to Remedy This Naturally and look at the product that we've got there that is for vitamin D, vitamin K, and now, what just happened? My mother spoke. Claibourne, when the computer comes up, you can continue to talking to the people in your audience. Crazy. But I want to know what they would do with the vitamin D, vitamin K, and with the things for helping to make sure radiation doesn't become part of a negative thing to us. All right, I want to go in here and I looked up, I did not bring the pages down, so give me a second. Go find all my vitamins. Hold on. See where we got to go. That's what your vitamin K is on page 120. So let's go to page 120. Vitamin K, Melatonin, was named for a British word for blood clotting. It is important in the production of clogged agent, prothrombin, and is the conversion of glucose to glycogen, the form of sugar stored in the body for use as fuel. Positive effects of vitamin K: promotes proper blood clotting, reduces hemorrhaging, used in the treatment of coronary thrombosis, used to prepare women for childbirth, aids in the reduction of menstrual flow. Deficiency diseases are colitis, celiac disease, nutritional absorption difficulties in the intestines, improper blood clotting. Signs of deficiency of vitamin K: improper blood clotting, internal bleeding or hemorrhaging, bleeding from the bladder or the intestines, bleeding from the mouth and the nose, nutrient absorption disease, colitis, excessive diarrhea. Toxicity: natural vitamin K is non-toxic. Synthetic vitamin K can be toxic and produce some forms of anemia or causes damage to the red blood cells of infants. Toxic effects include chest constriction, sweating, flushing of the skin. Supplements of vitamin K are usually not available, most found in food. And since the writing of this book, vitamin K is available. Check it out. But here you go. Here are the foods you can finish it from: fish liver oils, kelp, soybeans oil, safflower oil, egg yolks, alfalfa, leafy green vegetables, spinach, tomatoes, potatoes, yogurt, corn, strawberries, wheat bran, and wheat germ, cauliflower, carrots, peas, cow's milk. Main source of humans is from intestinal flora, manufacturing it. So what does that say? Intestinal flora. Okay? Probiotic. Critical to our life and our health. And then I want to jump back. There's herbal sources of vitamin K: alfalfa, gotta cola, papaya, safflower, schlipperium, and yarrow. And you can also find it in a product that remedies naturally that's good for helping to give the body the ability to ward off radiation and be able to help with the liver. And we want to go back, and I want to check out vitamin D. A lot of vitamin D, these things are just so good. All right. Vitamin K, calciferol, for fat soluble, body stores it, particularly in the liver. It is critical for bone and teeth development. It has been called the nerve vitamin because it helps the body assimilate calcium. It also called the sunshine vitamin because it is manufactured by the body when the ultraviolet rays of the sun act on the oils of the skin. The body then absorbs from the skin. Note then that vitamin D is taken orally. It is absorbed with fats through the intestinal walls. Lighter skin color allows greater absorption of vitamin D to be produced. Darker skin inhibits it. Our bodies have a built-in safety factor of sun tanning. It is a fact when researchers believe that sunstroke may be related to excessive intake of vitamin D. With caution and gradual exposure to the sun, and that would be morning sun is best, we stay in the guidelines the Lord intended for our bodies to have. Smog blocks the sun's rays from getting to the skin, so people in heavily dense population areas should be aware of their vitamin D needs. So, it's important to do that. Let's see what we're going to get this information for you. Helpful hints. Suppose you knew that vitamin D helps with the absorption of calcium and phosphorus, aids sleep, and nerves relax because of calcium absorption, increases bone density, improve of bone and teeth, growth, development, and health, helps against bone loss, helps mending of bone that are broken, helps make straight legs, prevents tooth decay, prevents acid in the mouth from harming teeth, strong white teeth, helps development of face, helps skin, add vitamin A assimilation, prevents colds taken with A and C, helps treat conjunctivitis, helps rheumatoid arthritis, and signs of deficiency of vitamin D: rickets, bowed legs, the tenacity, muscle spasms, cramps, diarrhea, dementia, dermatitis, insanity, and nervousness. Severe tooth decay, constipation, gas, insomnia. See why it would be good to have D go right along with K? They like each other. So, my challenge to you is take care of yourself. My challenge to you is your body is the one you got. I have more people tell me, Claibourne, if I knew I was going to live so long, I'd have took better care of myself. And when we're young and foolish, we think we're invincible and we can fly. When we have things that go wrong with our life and our health, let's remember this. The body we live in was designed to live and never die. That's if you and I agree that we came from the Garden of Eden, manufactured by the great developer of human body and life, and that loves life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. Because it gave us the ability in the Garden of Eden that our great grandparents were there to be able to maintain and to enjoy the beauty of what the Creator designed for His creation, so He could just smile on us and love us. So I would say that in your quiet time, look at what is available for you to be able to have a better quality of life. And remember our talk today: melatonin, vitamin D, vitamin K, and what they can do when there is too much radiation We need it under control. Come see us at Remedy This Naturally. I'm your host, Claibourne Holtzman. May good health be yours, but more than that, may you live to enjoy it.